Today I'm gonna be playing in a Season 12 tournament with a pretty standard Calyrex-Ice Groudon Trick Room team. And I'm gonna be recording all of my matches, so afterwards I'm gonna go over the most interesting ones and cover some of my decision making during the games. Up against this team, the Trick Room mode of the team looks really strong. They have nothing to prevent Trick Room from going up unless they lead Boom and some kind of helping hand. None. Other than that, we're gonna get up Trick Room, bring Groudon, Calyrex in the back, and switch in either one with U-turn, depending on if they lead with. All in all, this game is looking like it'll shape up to be a pretty standard one that this team just plays over and over again. They lead off with Howl and Grimmsnarl, and as I said before, this lead has no way of stopping Trick Room from going up at all, and we should get off the U-turn unless their Grimmsnarl has either Protect or Fake Out. So we'll probably get in Groudon and sweep from there. We are forced to go into Groudon here since Calyrex-Ice wouldn't be able to knock out the Ho-Oh in Dynamax if they get a Reflect here. The Sacred Fire Burn on Mimikyu doesn't really matter since we're not gonna be attacking them with Shadow Sneak. So we just go into Groudon, and since Rock Slide could miss and with Reflect Up couldn't be, there's a chance that Howl could survive it. We're gonna probably max it here. The one thing that could throw a wrench in this plan is if we get a burn from Sacred Fire from Howl. But other than that, nothing really scares us. And even with Reflect Up, I don't think even Max Ho-Oh would take a Max Rockfall from Groudon. They go for Scary Face on themselves to enable Ho to go before our Groudon. So we managed to dodge the burn. Even with it, I think we would have been in an okay spot, but without it, Groudon just gets knocked out with Max Rockfall, and now they're down there, first restricted, and Grimmsnarl gets Will-O-Wisp, and it's not gonna do a ton from here. We still have 2 max turns with our Groudon left, so we should be able to get 2 speed up boosts on Groudon, basically showing up its weaknesses and allowing it to survive even after Trick Room goes down. Rillaboom comes in, and since it can't fake out Mimikyu here, I just can go for Will-O-Wisp into Rillaboom. And we go for Max Rockfall here, in case they switch in something which would be flying on Grimmsnarl. Frosty Blade doesn't quite take up the KO on Mimikyu, and now they have basically no match options left. They could switch in whatever they have in the back, but these 2 are basically neutralized for the time being. Yeah. And this game is almost pretty much locked up anyway, and yet they can see here. In the next matchup, we can also bring Mimikyu Incineroar in the front and Groudon Calyrex in the back. They don't really have any lead that can completely stop us. The only thing that is scary is if they lead with Thunderous, since we proc Defiant, but otherwise we can either go for Fake Out Trick Room or Trick Room and U-turn. They lead with Incineroar Landorus. This combination doesn't really offer them a way to break our Mimikyu, so we'll just try to go for a U-turn and a Trick Room. The worst thing that could happen would be that they take out our Incineroar, denying us a switching. They go for Stone Edge on Incineroar, which is completely fine by me. They probably expected me to hard switch into Calyrex here, and their play would have paid off big time if I didn't. But since I'm almost min speed Incineroar, and I went for U-turn here, I'm able to get in Calyrex-Ice for free. And we're threatening both their mons right now, since we can go for Shadow Sneak on ourselves and either Glacial Lance or High Power. Their options here are either to switch out either one of their mons into Insane or protect Zacian and hope it survives. They go for the switching out of Landorus into Incineroar. That would have punished us big time if we went for Max Hailstorm into that slot, so it still would have strung some help out of Incineroar. Max Quake into the Zacian slot is much safer, since if the A don't protect you, we get a knockout and we would have died here. And even if they switched in the Incineroar on our Max Quake, it would have picked up the knockout. So that deals a bunch to Zacian, and now we are forced to make a read here, because they are gonna switch out one of their mons into Landorus, but the safest option for us is to go for a Will-O-Wisp into the Zacian slot and Max Quake the Incineroar slot, since even if they stay in with Zacian, it would be burned from the Mimikyu, and our Max Quake would have not gotten a knockout on the Landorus, but that would have been okay, I guess. Since if we did go for Max Hailstorm into either slot and they didn't switch out, it would have been a disaster. But this way we've dealt with one of their intimidators, and we still have one max turn left, and they have already switched in their flying type, so we can safely go for Max Quake into Kyogre. The only thing that could stop us here would be a max guard on our Max Quake, so instead we decide to go for Max Hailstorm onto Landorus, which, since we're at +1, still should take up the knockout and even do a bunch to a protect. They go for protect on Landorus, and our Shadow Sneak does very little damage, but our Hailstorm manages to get the Naga down to Blanders. Might have been a range, I'm not sure on that one. But this means that we get another attack boost, meaning that now our Glacial Lance should even threaten Zacian from the range they're at. We know that their last one is Zacian, and we can just simply go for a Glacial Lance here as well as with a Wisp into Zacian. In case it doesn't pick out the knockout, we have one turn of Trick Room left. So after, there you can see it here. After 13 matches I was 10-3 and in 4th place, so I decided to play the last 2 matches. So here's the second to last match, and we're up against the player who ultimately ended up placing 2nd overall. So it's definitely a hard matchup. This team doesn't really look like it's really weak to the core idea of the team, but I end up going with it anyway since I don't think I can win a Sun Mirror against their Venusaur if they lead with it, and if I lead Venusaur and they have lead with Insane, that will punish me immensely. So I just decided to go with the standard and see how they deal with it. They go with Incineroar and Venusaur, and this lead is acceptable for us. We can probably try to go for the standard play pattern here of just U-turn and Trick Room, or even Trick Room and Flare Blitz, though it definitely won't KO because of the Intimidate. Sleep Powder misses, and that's pretty big for us, but now that we've gotten up Trick Room, we almost are forced to Flare Blitz into their Venusaur slot, since we can't safely switch in our restricted anymore, since we risk getting them, letting them get a Flare Blitz off into Calyrex-Ice. In this spot it would have been more advantageous for us to go for Flare Blitz and Will-O-Wisp into the same slot, because this way we only did about half to Zacian. In hindsight, we would have been free to switch in either restricted into the Mimikyu slot, but we didn't know that beforehand. I would expect them to switch out our protection here, so going for a switch into Groudon seems okay. Even if they go for a Max Flare or Flare Blitz from Incineroar into that slot, Groudon should be able to tank it. They end up going for the Protect, which I could have read into but decided not to risk it. The U-turn from them shows me that they're also assault-vested on Incineroar, but this play pattern works out nicely for me. The only thing I have to watch out for here is that Precipice Blades could miss here. That would be pretty bad. And we negate the Intimidate drop with our White Herb on Groudon. And since we know they're not Choka, P-Blades would KO here if it connects. Crit didn't really matter, but it's nice to have, because this way the P-Blades is definitely gonna KO. But unfortunately, Incin dodges the P-Blades, and in hindsight, this play ends up losing us the game. Since if we would have connected there, the Incin would have gone down. In this spot, they can only fake out either one of our mons, and the other mon is gonna be able to go for a double attack. So I go for both spread moves, anticipating either a switch in or a fake out into either one of them. So the other one's gonna be able to get the knockout on both. Or if they go for a fake out into the glove, the Calyrex, that is. But this way they definitely have to Blade fake out Groudon. So here again, if Incineroar dodges, oh, they managed to underspeed, and yeah, as I said, Incineroar definitely is annoying here. It would have been game over if we would have gotten the knockout, but this way we get double knockout and they're restricted, meaning that in the back they only have their Incineroar and whatever else they have left. Unfortunately, our Trick Room ends here, and their last one is Venusaur. So, since the sun is still up there, gonna be able to get off a sleep powder into our Calyrex slot. In hindsight, this also was a misplay from my side, because we should have probably maxed Groudon here, but that would have lost to them maxing their Venusaur. So it's unfortunate that I get a sleep here, but that's the game. And that's their only road to victory. Now they just have to hope that I sleep for 2 or 3 turns. And they should be able to get a knockout on Groudon with Wine Lash. And deal a bunch of damage to our black Calyrex-Ice. In this game, it just goes to show what caliber of player this opponent is, since this was the one route to victory they had from this spot, and they were able to find it and execute upon it. There again is a slight mistake from my part. I definitely should have gone for max guard here, since they probably wouldn't have gotten the knockout on Mimikyu, and I would have gotten Break Room up, meaning that if I got the wake up this turn, I would have survived with Calyrex and been able to get the max quake under Break Room. But yeah, now this game is over. There's no way Mimikyu can win against these two. So yeah, it was really close up until the end, but they were able to find the optimal play and win. GG. So I lost my last 2 games, meaning that I ended up 10 and 5 in 25th place, which is not that bad considering there were 325 players in the tournament. All in all, that's not a bad standing for the first experience with GS Cup overall for me. The team was pretty solid. I think once the rules kick in on the ladder, I'm gonna keep using something similar. The only 2 slots that I could see even wanting to touch are Regieleki and Venusaur. The rest of the core feels really solid, and except for move choices and EVs, I think I'm gonna leave Incineroar, Mimikyu, Calyrex-Ice and Groudon and see what I do with the last 2. That's it for me for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.